Hi, I'm Kelly. Have you ever seen something at school that shouldn't have been there? Like a bathroom stall door opening on its own, or a pair of eyes staring out from beneath the teacher's desk. Today's story is based on real experiences. After hearing it, you might never want to stay alone in a classroom again. When I was in 3rd or 4th grade, something happened that I still remember vividly. I was in class when I suddenly felt the urge to use the bathroom. The recess bell rang right then, so I quickly turned to a few close friends and asked if they'd come with me. They nodded, and we headed out together. Our classroom was on the 2nd floor, but the bathrooms were only on the 1st. There were 2. One was bigger and closer, right at the bottom of the stairs, and the other was smaller, down a longer hallway. We usually went to the bigger one because it was nearer and better. Since I was the one who needed to go first, I walked ahead. I remember clearly. The bathroom had these old wooden doors with peeling paint, like flaking skin. The hinges creaked loudly whenever you opened them. There was also a raised wooden threshold you had to step over carefully, or you'd trip. I went in first, sliding each stall door open to find an empty one. First stall, wouldn't budge. Second, also jammed. 3rd, 4th, 5th, all the same. I was confused. Was something broken? Or was someone inside? But we hadn't heard a single sound. I told my friends, forget it. Let's go to the smaller bathroom. We were just about to step out over the threshold when we heard it. Creak. We all turned around instinctively. The first stall, the one that was stuck, had slowly opened by itself. Then the second. Then the third. One by one, each stall door opened, like someone was walking down the row, pushing them open. But the walkway between them was completely empty. No footsteps, no voices, just the sound of creaking wood. We screamed and bolted out of there. A few days later, one afternoon, it was my turn on cleanup duty, and I was in charge of taking out the trash. The garbage area was in the back of the school, down a long hallway that passed by several unused classrooms, former dance rooms, now abandoned and empty, with only bare wooden floors and wall mirrors left. I was walking near one of the classrooms, carrying the trash can, when something white caught my eye from the corner of my vision. At first, I thought it was just a reflection, but something felt off. I stopped and told my classmate, "Hold on," and stepped back a few paces to check again. It was a white skull, sitting right by the window. Its eye sockets were dark, just 2 hollow holes staring out. My heart skipped a beat. I looked again. Nothing. The room was empty. We dumped the trash and went home. I kept telling myself it was just my eyes playing tricks on me, just a trick of the light. But things weren't that simple. Years later, I was chatting with my dad, and we happened to talk about my old school. I told him I'd had some creepy experiences there, and he said, "Oh yeah, that place used to be a hospital. I heard a lot of people passed away there back in the day. That's why everyone always said the school had a weird vibe. When I was a kid, I saw something there too. Once, while playing on the field, I saw someone standing far off. When I ran over to check, there was no one there." When he said that, chills ran all over my body. That moment, the stall doors opening one by one, that skull I thought I'd imagined in the empty classroom, maybe they weren't just in my head after all. Back then, we didn't have smartphones or cameras. Maybe some people still use those giant brick phones. There was no way to record anything. The building has since been renovated. That small bathroom, completely sealed off. All that's left is the sound of those doors opening and the memory of that eerie, pale skull. This one happened in junior high. Our classroom was at the very end of the hallway, right next to an unused room that used to be a music class. Later, it was turned into a storage room, but the door was always locked. We never saw it open. It was right before midterms, and our homeroom teacher let us stay in during lunch break to study. That day, my stomach was bothering me, so after lunch, I laid my head on my desk and fell asleep. In my dream, I heard piano music. It wasn't a recording. It sounded real, like someone was pressing the keys one by one. But the rhythm was strange, like a little kid smashing random notes. When I woke up, the classroom was quiet. Everyone was still reading, and a breeze was coming in through the back door. I asked the classmate in front of me, "Did you hear piano music just now?" She shook her head. Nope. That's when I started to feel weird. I walked to the back of the room and looked through the glass into the room next door. It was dark inside, but near the corner, there was a figure crouching beside the piano. I couldn't see clearly. It looked like someone was muttering to the wall, mouth moving slightly, but no sound came out. I froze. Suddenly, that person snapped their head toward me and stared. The face was blurry, not fully human. I stumbled back, hitting the supply cabinet. A nearby classmate asked what was wrong, but I couldn't say a word. After school, I stayed behind to copy homework from the blackboard. Everyone else had already left. Just me in the classroom. I was almost done when I noticed something under the teacher's desk. I leaned down to check, and I nearly fainted on the spot. There was a pair of eyes staring back at me. A pale face was pressed up against the underside of the desk, like someone was hanging upside down from the ceiling. The eyes didn't blink. The mouth curled into a faint smile, like it knew I would look. I couldn't move, couldn't scream. I just stood up slowly, grabbed my bag, and ran out of the classroom as fast as I could. I called in sick the next day and didn't go to school. Later, I heard rumors that something terrible had happened in that old music room. They said someone had left a suicide note under the teacher's desk and ended their life inside the room. The school never confirmed it. They just said the classroom was too old, unsafe. Even now, whenever I walk into that building, I can't help but glance under the desk. Those eyes felt too real. Not like a dream, not like a trick, just real. And honestly, I still don't know if anyone else saw them too. That's it for today's stories. Did you enjoy them? Have you ever seen something eerie at school? Something you wish you could forget? Leave a comment and tell me. I'd really love to hear your story. And between today's two tales, which one gave you more chills down your spine? The stall doors opening one by one, or the eyes under the teacher's desk? Let me know. I'm dying to hear what you think. Like the story? Want more creepy tales like this? Hit like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow.